I love you too.
Bye. Yeah, that was a big box for those two things.
Yeah, that was a lot. I'm gonna put it. I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna save it sometime.
Yeah, I think for it's
Yeah,
the right size. And that one long continuous peach along the porch rail next
better.
winter is going to be great. So, all right, Donnie. Bye.
Have fun. Don't forget to navigate. Oh well, you know what to do all that stuff.
Yeah, I've been in a Tesla a time or two before, but you know, I end up turning off navigation.
Well, you need to find out if it does the lane thing.
Well, that's true. I'll try to tolerate it minimum, but I suspect I'll be putting it on minimum lane change and turning off navigation again. But prove me wrong, Jules. Prove me wrong. Bye.
Kiss, kiss.
Yeah, the only way I have been able to tolerate FSD and going downtown and get, you know, the benefits of the car driving have been with minimum lane change selected and turning off navigation. But one of the things we want to test today is will it try to make dives into right turns that are wrong? Will it pester me 16 miles in advance of my turn? That's a little exaggeration, 10 miles. So yeah, let me go ahead and select the school. I'm not going to get into autopilot until I'm out on Wagstaff. So I read a TeslaModelXJourney article today that said that Green the Only was looking at the latest Tesla code, and there's a lot more stuff in there about is the driver yawning. I don't know if they mentioned blinking, but you know, the things people do when they're trying to keep themselves awake. Sometimes I do this. That Tesla had added a bunch of code that wasn't currently in the, I guess, active path, but has been added, is obviously under construction, under development, and also for use not necessarily while autopilot is in use. So, you know, if you're falling asleep behind the wheel, Tesla's not going to wait until you invoke autopilot. They're going to want to do something about it anyway. Don has his seatbelt up and it's on my neck, and I'm not comfy. I'm not comfy at all. The car in front of me nearly hit the cement curb there. That was kind of not so good. I want to see what she does here with the left lane closed ahead. One of our North Carolina owners left a comment on day 2159 saying that this release has a problem on double yellow lines, single lane road, the car overslowing for or stopping for cars coming in the other direction. And obviously we saw that Saturday with 2 stops. So this road over here, double yellow line, definitely qualifies as narrow. If that problem were going to show up, I could certainly see why it would be showing up on this section of road. Yeah, here it just did it again for that pickup truck. That was a significant drop in speed. Now, I can't see to my right at all. She's going to have to creep forward. I'm looking. Just no way I'm comfortable that she doesn't stop again and look before going. But I could see there wasn't anybody coming. That church, and I don't think they're obviously not doing it on purpose, but they have an events banner to the right. She kind of braked there a little bit for the mom, the dog, the stroller. Just a little. They have this banner up to the right, and it sort of blocks the view from the intersection. If they would move it back another 2 or 3 feet, it would be more comfortable. Yes, Jules, I am here, and I am, I have my hands on the wheel. Nice, very nice. Always seems like on those turns, whether it's the one on the way home, turning down our street, or that turn that just a little bit closer to the cars in the other lane that I want to be, but not curbing my wheels. So that's good, right? Will she have a meltdown if I try to reach back and fix the seat belt? Because I really can't stand it. Okay. Phew. I really wish they would make that electronic, because, yeah, I kind of pulled my neck reaching funny to get that down. But the constant, you know, tugging on the seatbelt to try to put it in my position versus Dawn's position is really super annoying. Yeah, Jules is telling me my key fob battery is low, and I do have a key fob for Jules, and we only have one for Jules, so it has to be mine, and Dawn's, you know, one for Ruby's in the house. But I swear Dawn changed that thing 6 months ago, I don't know. It's kind of odd that it would say that it's low. Obviously, I have my phone with me, and my phone hopefully has a charge. Probably should plug it in. I can find the wire. I'm trying to, you know, remember that I am in Jules and not Ruby, because Ruby doesn't have the cabin camera, and you know, I'm just probably do things I shouldn't do that the car might not like. Try not to do that today. I found it to be less restrictive over time than it was initially with the beta in Jules. You know, like even when I have my phone in the cup holder, even that at one point seemed to make the car unhappy with me, and now it doesn't matter. I've held up the vlogging camera on the wheel with the little handle, and that is sort of forward from the camera, but the car did not previously at least seem to be too upset about that, thank goodness. So we're approaching a stoplight prior to the right-hand turn stoplight. This is the one where people try to turn right on red in front of you if you have to kind of watch out for them. This is also where prior to the last release she would stay in the left lane, because it goes from, she slowed for that car crossing her path, so she got over almost a little too much close to that car there. I think she could have waited a couple more feet, but she did get over, which is really important, because it can be, if you don't get right there, that you miss the ability to get right. Whoa. Alright, I may have hit the accelerator just a little bit. Come on. I tapped the accelerator twice. She was very herky-jerky there. Not smooth at all. I've been through there where it's been much smoother. I would have to do it, you know, multiple times to know if it's 11.4.1 that caused that or what, but she was definitely slowing there in a way that was not comfortable. Usually she has no trouble making this turn. On Saturday, was it Saturday or Sunday? Saturday. She, oh, there's mulch all over the road here. That's just great. She did not try to turn on red. Now, that was not an option today. I'm going to go ahead and tell her to get in the left-hand lane. Get around this traffic through town. Until we're on 401 headed out of town. There's a good bit of traffic and turning and other things going on here. Now that she stopped way too much back there. A little too aggressive on the braking, I think. Yes, the car in front was stopped. Yes, the light was red, but probably a little bit overkill on the slow up there. Now, just to say, if anyone is tuning in that's not a regular viewer because they're interested in 11.4.1 content and have found this, she just gave me a warning to move the wheel, so I played with the wheel a little bit. I'm looking forward, so I would really hope that she wouldn't do that too much. It's about, she hit the brake there for no reason. So I'm definitely seeing some non-necessary braking. I'm not going to call it phantom braking. I don't really think, I think that word is overused and doesn't necessarily describe the situation. There's, you know, there's tentative braking, there's overly aggressive braking. There's so many ways to describe the braking, and I think a lot of things get thrown into the phantom braking category that don't meet that definition. But what I was going to say is it's about 20 miles and 35 minutes this time of day from our house to downtown Raleigh, and I have never made it all the way to the school. That's probably more because of navigation killing it between here and downtown, diving into the right turn lane, trying to take me, just issues with navigation, I would say, is the biggest reason. And then often when I get downtown, I don't really choose to use FSD through part of downtown. It just feels, I don't like the route the car chooses, which again goes back to navigation, and also just the amount of pedestrians and people not staying in their lanes and things that even I'm not comfortable dealing with when I'm driving, let alone asking FSD to do it. So today we'll see how far we get. It does help a little bit in a couple places if I'm in the left-hand lane versus the right-hand lane, but I do want to know if she dives into the right-hand lane, and I don't see us making it over to the school, so I'll probably make sure we're in the right-hand lane in a couple of those trouble spots. But prior to 11.4.1, I was turning off navigation after I got about here, and also the minimum lane change. And I have not done minimum lane change yet, and I think it should be probably set to average. I think I have it set to average. And also I am still navigating, so okay, come on, Jules. Thank you. Please take off like you're a Tesla. Yeah, I want her to take off at lights like she owns the road, which is a little, and I'm just going to tell her to get over now. But I want her to, see, that's my fault between Ruby and Jules. Our 2017 Model X, the turn signals work differently than our 2020 Model Y, and the half click versus the full click versus whatever click, it's really annoying. They don't work the same. And I told her to get over, but I did a half click, and when I took my hand off, then she of course stopped. And come on, Jules, take off. I let her do that all by herself, but that was slower than I would have preferred at the light. But I can't go to aggressive because, or assertive, whatever it's called, that setting, because I don't want her changing. You know, there's a difference between how I want her to take off from the light and how many times I want her to change lanes. I want her to take off like she owns the road, but I don't want her to change lanes very much in particular, especially in the morning during rush hour when there's just no need. Right now, perfectly fine to get around slow-moving traffic, but yeah, I keep on, it's been a couple days since I drove Jules, and I keep on reaching for the left stalk from the Model X, and it's not there. Yeah. Speed limit chime. I know. So this part of the road, there's typically not any issues up through this stoplight up here past the Chevy place. She just pretty much does what she does. It's all good. One of the things that was happening on the previous release is that I would be in the right-hand lane, and she would tell me for my turn in 10 miles that I needed to change lanes to follow the route. It's a right-hand turn, and she would move me to the left-hand lane. So that was super annoying. There is the potential that could happen today, so we'll see. About time for them to get out here and mow the median. The grass is getting pretty tall. The yellow dandelions, buttercups, whatever it is, though, are pretty. A friend of mine over in Ireland said they have no mow May, meaning that for the month of May they encourage people not to mow, and that's so that they get to enjoy all of the spring wildflowers and they get to reseed themselves, and then once that's happened they don't care if you mow or not. Thought that was an interesting concept. Like I said, through that particular turn, there's not usually any, or that particular stoplight. So she wants to get over to move me around into a faster lane, she says. And since I have not done minimum lane change, that wasn't, particularly unexpected there. I think she acted correctly in moving me. I'm even happy she moved me around that traffic. It's just that in the morning during rush hour, there's really no place to go, so moving me around a lot doesn't buy me anything. But in the afternoon when there's slow-moving traffic, yes, by all means, move me around it. I'm going to signal her to get me back over because the guy behind me is frustrated. Of course, I moved over and they moved over too, so we'll see. I'm not going to hang out in the left-hand lane, but I do kind of get irritated when I'm out there for a very short amount of time and the person behind me gets impatient. I don't know where this guy thinks he's going. So she's moving me around slower traffic again, and I'm letting her. So it's, instead of Wilmington Street right now, she thinks I ought to get out on I-40. I never do that. So that may influence her telling me I need to change lane to follow the route, but still, it's 8.4 miles to the right turn onto I-40 versus whatever, that's a little bit, it's about the same to a little bit farther than the turn would be for Wilmington Street. I really don't want to go out on I-40. I'm currently, let's see, 2:12 is my arrival time at the school. I'm shooting for 2:15, 2:20 is not a problem. Anything later than 2:30 would start to be like, where the heck are you, Mom? Like me and the teachers, we all want to go. Probably what I'm going to do is kill navigation and restart it and see if it will maybe choose Wilmington Street instead. Because honestly, it can't be more than like a minute's change. And I understand, it only recalculates you. That beep there is for the construction zone. Does that every time through here. I thought I was losing my mind and it was telling me that I needed to apply force to the wheel for no reason every day. But it's really, alerting me to the construction zone. I just wish that they really need to go in there and make that a message. Please pay extra attention due to construction, or something more meaningful than tell me to apply force when that's really not what that's meaning. Well, killing navigation and restarting it did not choose Wilmington Street, so we'll see what goes on here. I kind of want to get back over to the right-hand lane because this is one of the spots where she tries to take the turn lane up here. Tries to dive into the right turn lane just on the other side of the traffic light. So this would be the first test of not incorrectly diving into the right turn lane. The one at Lowe's up here in Garner is the one where she does it more consistently. I've even had her dive into this right turn lane beside me. I say her, we refer to both of our vehicles as she. That's just easier, and honestly, it doesn't matter. Ruby doesn't have 11.4.1 yet, which is why I drove Jules this afternoon, but the Model X, just didn't get it yet. And the two cars basically behave 100% the same. They have the same hardware and cameras, and they pretty much 100% the same. So I'm sure if I was in Ruby, she'd be doing the same thing. Did not dive me into the turn lane. That's appreciated. I would have to do it multiple times to say 100% for sure that that's fixed, but that looked promising there. If we don't dive into the one up at the Lowe's a couple miles up ahead, then that will be even more telling. You gotta start speeding up there before the stop sign, so I manually did that. I mean, speed limit sign there, because the cars behind get really antsy. Well, first off, they never want to slow down to 45 through that stoplight area anyway, and then leading up to the speed limit going back to 55, they're basically ready to be doing 65, so I manually adjusted the speed. It is 76 and a delightful May day here in North Carolina. Not sunny today, but that's okay. A little less glare on the drive home this afternoon. I'm headed north right now, so it's fine, but in the southbound, as we approach summer, that's pretty hot and also pretty bright in the face. That was a unintended slowdown, and at the same time, I guess I got so still watching what she was doing, she prompted me to touch the wheel, even though my hands are on the wheel. One more time, stopping navigation. Yeah, I didn't see the option to take Wilmington Street even show up. There was some options for various routes through town or something, but I did not see the option to choose for Wilmington Street. So I'll let her take us up on I-40. There's slowing there, but that one is because the speed limit went from 55 to 45. And usually I'm putting it back up at 50 because, again, the cars are just... The stoplight up here naturally slows the traffic down to 50-ish, 45-ish when you come around the corner here. Now, she slowed too much there, and the reason why she did that, in my opinion, is she can't quite see if the light was green or not. So, until she can confirm that it's green, she slows in case she has to stop. Not normal behavior for other drivers out here. I would, have not been having too much trouble with that, in the morning, but also probably more cars right in front of me in the morning than just then coming through. up here on the right, police lights, blue lights flashing. They do appear to be all the way off the road. Probably a speeding ticket. Can't tell yet. White County Sheriff's Deputy or State Police? Nope, State Police. So I'd say he pulled this guy over for a ticket. And not seeing any messaging about emergency lights or anything, but they were not. They were all the way off the road. And that's the phone for the guy next to me, not my phone. It's amazing the things you can hear. These cars are so quiet. Bumper down a couple miles per hour. Now that we've gotten into Garner proper. We're getting really close to the right turn for Lowe's. Well, I did not have any messages whatsoever about being in the right lane for my turn the entire way in today. So if that is true, that's going to be a huge improvement in my enjoyment of using FSD and navigation together, because it's just been a mess here for a few weeks. Alright, so just past here. Is she going to take the dive or not take the dive today? Oh, thank goodness she didn't go over there. Again, though, I'm going to need to do the route a few times to know for sure. And I'm quite pleased with no annoyances about being in the right lane to follow my route, and also correct, right as in correct, not right as in right hand. And two of the turn lanes that she would dive into on the way into town, she didn't do that on this trip. So, you know, lane centering, passing lane, all that stuff seems to be in good shape on this release. If she would just be a little less, stop braking on those, you know, single lane road, double yellow line. Maybe a little less tentative in a few other areas. Now, normally I would be trying to get right here to follow Wilmington Street, but since I'm going to let her take me out on I-40 today, we have not had a disengagement yet, which I find pretty impressive, because I haven't been able to do that as much for anything. It's just because navigation was, lane diving and navigation was keeping that from happening. Yes, I'm here, Jules. This time of day, getting right to follow Wilmington Street is no big deal, but in the morning, it's really touch and go about me feeling comfortable to find a place to move myself over. It's just that congested out here, and people are doing crazy things like moving 2, 3, 4 lanes all at one time. So my turn is in 0.7 miles, and there's a pickup truck coming up on my right, but I'd really like to see her get us over. I am not a wait to the last minute to move kind of a gal. So now that he's passed and I see it's clear, I'm going to tell her to take me over. What's up on the screen is clearly showing that we're going to the right up here. Now, I have never taken this on ramp with FSD. I don't you know, typically come this way. Don and I would be in this lane, like if we were headed to Rocky Mount to get up on I-40 over here. So I think Don has taken this recently when we've been headed out 64 to the east. I don't anticipate any problems making the right turn or merging up onto I-40 coming this way. So we'll only be on I-40 for approximately 2 miles. It's a very short hop over from South Saunders Street over to Rock Quarry Road. So it's like exit 298 to exit 300. It's really short. This time of day, it does have the potential to save some time, I guess. Although I would say that going the other way is pretty negligible. It can't be more than 1 or 2 minutes difference. All right, she's taking us onto the ramp here. You know, the only thing I ever worry about is curbing the wheels. And I am trying to look. Now, the other day when I was with Donna, she put on her turn signal and got over good. Seems I think the last time we were on there, she didn't didn't get that she needed to get over. You know, that the lane was going away in a manner of, there's a turn signal moving us over into the lane. Got really lucky about where people were and weren't on the interstate. Personally, I'm not super happy about being next to the car hauler. I just lowered my speed down a little bit. Let him move on. Speed limit 65. I went down to 60 because I'm getting off at the next exit and I just don't want to be beside the car hauler. He's big and he's scary, if you ask me. And he's not carrying Teslas, so that would be different. Then we would be up right beside him, chasing him, trying to film a video, you know, all the stuff. But here, I'm going to speed back up to 65. I do take this exit frequently, coming from Cary, like tomorrow, on Tuesdays once a week when I'm shopping in Cary before picking up Johnny, my son, from school. And this exit should be no problem for the car. It's clearly marked, it's wide, it's not a stop sign, it's a traffic light. Although I don't know that I've ever had it do that on full self-driving. It'd be interesting to see, there's 2 left lanes here, which one the car gets itself in. I'm starting to get a little excited. Can we make it all the way to the entrance of the school? I know we can't make it onto campus, but alright, she chose the leftmost turn lane. I'm totally good with that. Yeah. Great job, Jules. Woo! I'm liking it. Can turn off the turn signal now. Thank you. So 1.8 miles until we turn left. So I'm give a little acceleration there. She's confused, and I understand her confusion. She's actually okay. I'm moving the wheel, Jules. Honest, both my hands are on the wheel. Stop thinking I'm not. Touching it when I am. But it's 1.8 miles until we turn left onto the road for the school. So we're really super close now. There are a couple problems, but first off, turning left is a little weird. That is not a normal intersection. Although I think she's been handling the left-hand turn okay. And then there's this funky roundabout that the city put in not really a roundabout. It's just this cement circle in the middle of the road to slow people down. And if there are cones in the middle of the circle, the car's been handling it okay. And if there aren't cones, it doesn't handle it okay. And recently there have been cones, so hopefully we're good. But I'm not a fan of these extra pieces of cement in the middle of the road. Of course, I guess if people would be careful about the speed limit and pedestrians, then the city wouldn't have to resort to doing stuff like that. I'm here, Jules. Just letting you know, every time she flashes me blue, just because I'm relaxed and you're doing a good job, can you please stop pestering me? You know, having to move the wheel just to keep you happy, it has nothing to do with driving, and it's reducing it's increasing my stress level. I don't want to strike for no reason. I am paying attention. I'm actually awake right now. I'm pretty exhilarated. You're doing a great job. Ooh, there's a car. That is not a good place to be stopped. Yeah, well, you can honk at them, bus, but I mean, I don't know why she was stopped there, but I'm assuming disabled, but I don't know. If she just stopped to stop in the middle of the road, that wouldn't be good. If I hadn't been on FSD, I might would have punched it a little bit more for the bus to get out of the way, which I could have done anyway, but alright, 0.2 miles, left-hand turn. It's this stoplight, Oakwood Avenue. I do think I've done this turn before and it's okay. Like I said, it's okay, and then there's this cement round traffic slowdown thing. And I really can't call it a roundabout because there's only, you know, it's only 4 lanes there, or 4, you know, directions. It's a regular intersection. So she stopped waiting on this traffic, still waiting on the traffic. Oh, she jerked the wheel back and forth on me a little bit there. I don't like it when the car does that. A lot more traffic here than normal. She's waiting. Waiting. Looks like it's still green and we have room to go now. Go, Jules, go. I'm here, you go. Well, she did exactly what I would have done there now. Oh God, their cones are gone. Is she going to go straight? Alright, I had to take over. They removed the cones, and if the cones aren't there, she doesn't know what to do with that. Dang it! I'm 0.3 miles from the school, and I almost made it all the way! That is so unfair, City of Raleigh. I'm more mad at them than I am at Tesla, because I don't know what the car thinks it's... I mean, just because they painted it red, I don't know what in the world the car thinks it's supposed to do, but a couple of weeks ago, there were cones in the middle of it, and she actually did that one properly, and then there's another one they've added just 3 or 4 blocks down, and she failed on that one because they had taken the cones away, or there were no cones there, so... Darn! Well, that's the farthest I've ever come, still. So it's still a success. I'm going to end on a positive note and say it's still a success. I may include limited clips from on the way home, but it's not my intention to include the entire drive from the way home, because that's already a pretty long amount of video, and we tested most of the things that I was interested in testing or showing you. So this is my least favorite part of my daily drive, this little narrow entranceway here. Although after 2 years of coming on and off the campus, I can do it now much better than in the beginning. In the beginning, it was, I don't know, it feels very claustrophobic to me, and it was terrifying. Terrifying about curbing the wheels. But now I'm good, so. Nice girl at the security booth. I guess she knows who I am, whichever Tesla I'm in, although there are multiple other Teslas coming on and off campus, and there's an Ioniq 5, Trying to think if I've seen any other EVs on campus. There's Ys, 3s, X's, and S. I mean, there's all the Teslas are on campus. I see them all the time, but and we don't try to ever do FSD around the loop, although she is offering me to do that right now if I wanted to. So anyway, I'll stop here for now.